Hari Om. Welcome to the Ola Samskrita Sahitya classes every Sunday. We have started Karnabharam and we'll be completing Karnabharam today. And perhaps if time permits, we will see in brief the introduction to Urubhangam, a great one-act tragic play of Mahakavi Bhasa. Now, as you have already seen again, the advertisement for the Khandakavyas of Kalidasa, again an appeal to those who want to register but have not registered, please do so as quickly as possible. Sura Sura Sevita Pada Pankaja, Kare Virajat Kamaniya Pustaka, Virinchi Patni Kamala Sanasthita, Saraswati Nrityatu Vachime Sada. Hari Om. Last time we saw, last Sunday, that Karna is under pressure. He has the pressure of Parashurama's curse. He also has the pressure of meeting with his mother, who has taken a promise from him that he will not kill any other Pandava except for Arjuna. And now he sees that his horses are very weak. They are limited. And after listening to the Yachaka's voice, Brahmana Veshena Tatah Pravishati śakraḥ, so after listening to that Shakra's voice, the horses have stood still as if they are portrayed, painted in a picture. And then he goes on saying, the Brahmana asks him, Mahattaram Bhiksham Yache. He offers Go Sahasra. The Bhikshekari says, no, what will I do with milk? Muhurtakam, once I will drink milk, I don't want. Nechami karna nechami. Then he offers Vajinam Sahasram. Again Shakra says, again in Shakra, that is Indra, in the Yachaka Vesha says, Nechami Karana, Nechami. And then Karna offers him a samuha of mighty elephants, gajas. Let us read the verse number 20. We stopped at verse number 19 last time. Madasaritakapolaṃ ṣaṭpadaiḥ sevyamānaṃ girivaranicayābhaṃ meghagambhīraghoṣam sitanakhadaśanānāṃ vāraṇānāmanekaṃ ripusamaravimardaṃ vṛndametad dadāmi. Vrundam dadāmi. Kesham vrundam nama samuham ganam dadāmi. Kesham samuham dadāmi. Vāraṇānāṃ samuham dadāmi. Not one samuha, anekam vrundam dadāmi. Many groups of mighty elephants. Varana, a very peculiar word for elephant, which is normally known as gaja or hasti. Hastaha asya asti, shunda asya asti iti hastin. Athava karaha nama shunda eva asya asti iti karin. But Varana is a very typical word. It has a double etymology. Varayati parabalam iti varanaha. One who is capable of resisting the opponent's enemies' forces, that is Varana. And another very interesting one is var and rana. Ranati nama charati. It's a gatyarthaka dhatu. Vari. Varin is one word and var is also a word for water. So vari is a saptamyanta pada, okay? So vari, nama jale, ranati, charati, asau varanaha. So varanānāṃ anekam vrundam dadāmi. How is this vrunda? Ripusamaravimardaṃ. We go backwards. To decipher any shloka, you finite verb you have to first identify, locate, and then go backwards and decipher, split the compounds. The meaning reveals, like a cake on the plate. It's so simple. Ripusamaravimardaṃ, which is capable of resisting, fighting against ripu in the samara, enemies in the battlefield. So Shatrunam vidvamsakam samuham aham vāraṇānāṃ tubhyam dadāmi. What else? Sitanakhadaśanānāṃ vāraṇānāṃ. There is another very interesting adjective, a characteristic rather, of the gaja. The gajas should have their nails and their teeth white in color. Sita is white. Sitanakhadaśanānāṃ. Now, last time I think I referred to the Mriga Pakshi Shastra. There is a Hastyayurveda by Palakapya Rishi. So in the Gajayurveda or Hastyayurveda, we have Ashvayurveda, we have Ashvasamhita by Nakula, we referred to last time. So there are certain characteristics of the Gajas, how the Gaja should be and all. For your information, you can Google elephant lore in the ancient Sanskrit literature. I have written that article. You can find it. In Brihad Samhita, Varahamihira says, interestingly, Varahamihira has also noted that, and he says, Madhvabadantaha gatraihi samaihi chapasamānavaṃṣāha varāhatulyahi jaganaischa bhadraha. What sort of gajas, what sort of elephants are bhadra? Very noble, very covetable. One would like to possess them. They are madhvabadantaha, whose teeth are of the color of madhu, honey, not sita. Because ivory color, you see, it's not pure white. It's not a swan white or a duck white. It's off-white. And therefore, madhvabhadantaha, that's what Varahamihira says. Gatraihi samaihi, all his gatras, especially his trunk-like legs, they have to be sama. And chapasamānavaṃṣāha, the Gajaprishta is like a chap, curved like a bow. Chapasamānaprishtaha. And varahatulyahi jaganaischa bhadraha. And the hind portion of the elephants should be as robust as that of a boar. Okay, so this is what Varahamihira also says. So sitanakhadaśanānāṃ vāraṇānāmanekaṃ ripusamaravimardaṃ vṛndametad dadāmi. In the first two lines, there are again a few epithets of this vrinda. Meghagambhīraghoṣam, the trumpeting of these gajas, of these elephants, is like the rumbling, the thundering of the clouds. In Meghaduta also, Kalidasa compares the thundering of the clouds with the trumpeting of the elephants. So meghagambhīraghoṣam, ghora ninadam. And girivaranicayābhaṃ, abhaṃ tulyam, looking like girivara, best giris, best mountains, their nichaya, samuha, as if the great mountains are piled one on the other, like that. These elephants, very strong, very hefty, very tall, looking like a gigantic mound of stones, black color. So girivaranicayābhaṃ, meghagambhīraghoṣam, and madasaritakapolaṃ, kapola, their gandasthala, as if the dānavaribhihi aplavitaha ete gajaha, the rut which flows, the ichor which oozes out from the temples of the elephants. It is not just by drop, these are the gandha gaja, as if, and therefore as if the streams of this rut are flowing from their gandasthala. And in the last lecture, we saw this dānavari, this rut, this liquid oozing out from the temples has the smell of saptaparani flowers. Saptachada gandha. Okay, so that is normally given, and we have seen it last time also. So madasaritakapolaṃ, and because that has a very unique type of fragrance, the bees hover around it, thinking it is something, a very fragrant flower, right? The bees hover around fragrance, and therefore they are attracted towards these elephants because madasaritakapolaṃ, and therefore ṣaṭpadaiḥ sevyamānaṃ. And the bees, the group of bees, the swarm of bees is hovering around the temple. So such mighty and according to the Gaja Shastra, very, very healthy, tall, strong, stout, robust built elephants, as many as you want, I am ready to give you. Okay. Then he says, Gajaiti, the yachaka, Gajaiti, Muhurtakam arohami. I will mount the gaja once or twice in a day. What do I do with a gaja? Nechami karana, nechami. I don't want it. King Nechati Bhavan, oh, this also you don't want. He has offered now Go Sahasram, Vaji Sahasram, then Gajanam Vrindam. Nechati Bhavan, Anyadapi Shruyatam, Apariyaptam Kanakam Dadāmi. I will give you enough gold. Enough kilos and kilos. Okay? Enough gold. Grihitva Gachami. Okay, give me, I'll go. Okay, Grihitva Gachami. But then comes back, Nechami Karana, Nechami. What do I do with gold? A poor yachaka as I am, a brahmana. Mera sone se kya hai? Sona leke मैं क्या करूँगा? Nechami Karana, Nechami. Tenahi jitva prithivim dadāmi. I'll conquer the entire earth and give it as a donation to you, gift, Prithvi Dana. Prithivya kim karishyami. What do I do with the entire earth? For me, 3 by 6 feet place is enough. What do I do? Prithivya kim karishyami. Tenahi agnishtoma phalam dadāmi. I will give you, I have done so many sacrifices, agnishtoma, etc. So whatever is the punya of that phala which I am accruing and which will be stored in my adrishta according to the Mimamsakas, you must be knowing the adrishta sankalpana of the Mimamsakas. Whatever good we do, nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati, as Bhagavad Gita says, nothing goes waste. All noble activities, they are piled up, they are accumulated, and that becomes your bank balance of punya, on the basis of which you can enjoy your stay in the heavenly world when you pass to the heavenly world, if you go. And with the same apurva adrishta, if that adrishta is of bad qualities, you will go to the netherworlds. But kshine punye martilokam vishanti. Once that punya rashi is over, it's all exhausted, then you come back to the earth. Okay. So agnishtoma phalam dadāmi. Agnishtoma phalena kim karyam. I'm a brahmana. I'm also doing agnihotra every day. No, I mean, that is the dhvani. That is not given explicitly by bhasa. Agnishtoma phalena kim karyam. Tenahi machiro dadāmi. I'll cut my head. I'll behead myself and offer you the shira kamala. You know. Tenahi machiro dadāmi. Aviha. No, shantam papam. Don't even think of that. Don't even talk about it. Aviha. Na bhetavyam. Don't worry, I'm not going to behead myself like this. Prasidatu bhavan. Don't get afraid. Brahmanas are bhiru by nature. You know, you remember the story of Parashurama's curse. He went to Parashurama saying that he is a Brahmana. But when Parashurama is resting in his lap and his jangha, his uru is being pierced and penetrated by that Vajramukha Kita, he tolerated all that pain silently without uttering a single sigh from his mouth. And that is the reason when Parashurama learned, oh, you are a Kshatriya. Brahmana can never tolerate such thing. Okay. And this Brahmana now, Bhiru, na bhetavyam. He is consoling him. Na bhetavyam prasidatu bhavan. Anyadapi shruyatan. I'll offer you something very different. And that is very unique. Nobody else can offer you that. What's that? Aṅgaiḥ sahaiva janitaṃ mama deharakṣā devāsurairapi bhedyamidaṃ sahāstraiḥ deyaṃ tathāpi kavacaṃ saha kuṇḍalābhyāṃ prītyā mayā bhagavate rucitaṃ yadi syāt. If it is favorable to you, if you approve of it, yadi bhavate rucitaṃ syāt, tarhi kim dadāmi prītyā, not under any compulsion, not under any obligation, with love, on my own accord, willingly, I am ready to part with my kavaca and my kundala. Okay. Aṅgaiḥ sahaiva janitaṃ. This kavaca is born along with my limbs. When I was born with the kavaca. This is not an armor which is a paridheya from outside, like a coat. like a nail of course, it's not a parideya. It is angabhut sahaja. Sahajayate iti sahajam. So this has been born along with my panchabhautika sharira. Aṅgaiḥ sahaiva janitaṃ mama deharakṣā. Deham yad rakshati, ya rakshati va, sa deharakṣā nama kavacaṃ. Okay, that is the armor, that is a kavacha. And how is this kavacha? Devāsurairapi na bhedyamidaṃ sahāstraiḥ. Even if thousands of gods and asuras come together and try to pierce it, it is abhedya. They can't even touch it, they can't even prick it for a while with their astra. Devāsuraihi sahāstraiḥ api abhedyamtad. Suchi abhedyamapi. Deyaṃ tathāpi kavacaṃ saha kuṇḍalābhyāṃ. And that kavacha, along with the kundalas, I can offer you willingly. That is the last thing which I have, because I had so many shruyatam mad vibhavaha. That's how he started, Karna. When he started offering, I'll give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. He offered so many things, but the Brahmana, poor fellow, he is not satisfied with any gift so far assured to him, promised to him. And therefore, this is the last, a very unique, which nobody else but Karna can give to anybody. So deyaṃ sahasram, deyaṃ tathāpi kavacaṃ saha kuṇḍalābhyāṃ. So this he wants to give as a gift, and Shalya tries to, prevent him. But Śakraḥ is very happy. This is what he has come for. This is to protect to guard the interest of his own son Arjuna. He wants to ensure, Indra wants to ensure that Arjuna proves to be victorious in the battlefield and Karna gets killed at his hands. And for that, as long as there is kavacha kundala on Karna's body, devāsuraihi api abhedyam kimuta arjunasya sharaihi kaimuti kanyaya. If devāsuras also are unable to penetrate it, how can Arjuna, mortal man, penetrate it? And therefore, the first and foremost task was to deprive Karna of his inborn angabhuta kavacha. So Śakraḥ is very happy. Dedu, dadātu, greedily, as if, he's pouncing on it. He wants to grab that gift. Dadātu. Karna, atmagatam. So long, there is no identity of Śakraḥ as Indra, the Brahmana Yachaka as Indra, is revealed. Now he thinks, atmagatam. Eshevasya kamaha. He came here with the same desire. He didn't want any other thing but kavacha. Kimnu khalu aneka kapata buddhehe krishnasya upaya. Will it be a device thought of by Krishna, who is aneka kapata buddhi? See, our Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna is accused. Even we accuse Lord Krishna of the kapata buddhi, but everything is fair in love and war. So kapata buddhi, and this is basically, yatra dharmaha, yato dharmas tato jayaha. This is the basic principle behind the entire, not only Mahabharata, all the epics in the world, I would say. See, the Iliad and Odyssey of Homer, Paris kidnapped, abducted Helen, the princess, and he had to suffer, and then the entire city of Troy got burned, got vanquished, they all got ruined. I mean, whenever you do adharma of any sort, you are doomed, right? And therefore, and to get that victory, सीधी उंगली से नहीं निकलता तो टेढ़ी उंगली करके घी निकालना चाहिए. So this kapata buddhi is not kapata in the bad sense. Kapata is a war strategy. It's a strategic planning a person has to do, right? So kapata buddhehe, aneka kapata buddhehe krishnasya upayaha. He guesses it very properly. Sopi bhavatu, let it be. I have promised to give I myself, prītyā, that too with love, willingly, not being asked for it. See, this is again a difference. In the Mahabharata of Vyasa, it is Indra who asks the Kavaca Kundala, and that too not on the battlefield, but in the Vanaparva. In the 13th year of their exile, the Pandavas' exile, Indra comes to Arjuna to warn him, right? And then that is the time when he goes to Karna to ask it. And here Bhasa has innovated the entire thing. Naturally, this, when such a gift is given on the verge of the D-day for Karna, do or die, that is the situation, right? On that day, a person coming to ask something, and what he gets satiated with, the Kavaca Kundala, which is the last resort, the last protective measure for Karna. Despite all his curses, despite all his pressures, this would have been his savior. And that he is going to part with now. But sopi bhavatu, I have promised it willingly. Let it be. Dig ayuktam anushochitum. One should not repent after promising something. If I have promised to give you something, then after promising and after the person is happy, with your gift, you should not think otherwise, oh, I shouldn't have promised that. I shouldn't have given that gift at all. Anushocha is paschatapa. Anu, that which follows. Shocha, shoka karna, dukha karna. So, anushochitum na yuktam dig. Why upon me if I think even in that manner? Nasti samshayaha. There is no doubt in my mind that I have to please the yachaka who is at my doorstep today. Okay? Nasti samshayaha. So this is all his atmagatam, okay? Swagatam. And now Prakasham, openly he says, grihatam. Shalya wants to prevent him. Angaraja, nadatavyam. Please, don't part with it. Don't give it. Nadatavyam. He hasn't yet cut his armor. He is about to do that. Grihatam. And Shalya tries to intervene in vain. And there follows a very beautiful, the most significant verse in Karnabharam. And it is not only prasangika, this has come as an arthantaranyasa, a universal statement, a generalized truth forever, for eternity, for shashvata, satya it is. Karna says, Shalyaraja, alam vāraitam. Now you can't stop me. I am determined to give this, and nobody in the world can stop me from giving this. Pashya. Shikshalayam gacchati kala pariyayat. Subaddhamula nipatanti padapaha. Jalam jalasthana gatam cha shushyati. Hutam cha dattam cha tathaiva tishtati. Very beautiful verse. Very simple. This is like prasada guna. Reading is understanding. You read it, you understand it. Very, very simple. And this is a Vanshastha vritta. Jata jarayutam. Jata jara. This is the gana. Jata jarayutam Vanshastha vrittam. I will read out. I had referred to once, in the first or second lecture perhaps, V. Venkatachalam's monograph published by Sahitya Academy called Bhasa. Okay. He has translated this in English versical form. V. Venkatachalam has translated in verses. So let me read it out for you. Then I will translate it word by word. Learning withers with the rolling years. Shiksha kshayam gacchati kala pariyayat. Learning withers with the rolling years. Trees with firm deep roots do fall. Subaddhamula nipatanti padapaha. Trees with firm deep roots do fall. Waters of mighty reservoirs too go dry. Jalam cha shushyati. Waters of mighty reservoirs too go dry. Only two things stand evergreen. Only two things stand evergreen: gifts given to the worthy needy, gifts given to the worthy needy, and pious offerings in the sacred fire. And pious offering in the sacred fire. Whatever you learn, your learning may wither out, may fade out. You may not remember what you have learned in your school days now when you are studying in college. When you grow up still further, whatever you have studied in your college, you may not remember it fully. Kala paryaya, as time lapses, as time passes on and on, one is likely to forget what he has learned. So shiksha kshayam yati kala paryayat. Alternatively, as the time moves on, we may forget what we have learned. Subaddha mulaha, su shobhanam, sushtu, baddhani mulani, yesham padapanam, yesham rukshanam, tadrishaha padapaha, padaihi pibanti iti padapaha. And the padas are the roots. So the mula and pada, two words are used here, meaning the same, but two different words. In English, we have only one word, root, R-O-O-T. And here we have mula as well as pada. So padapaha, subaddha mulaha, deeply rooted in the soil. Even such firm, deeply rooted, mighty trees also fall in the cyclones, right? Padapaha patanti, nipatanti dharashayino bhavanti, nitaram patanti. Not just that they bend, they fall down flat on the earth. Jalam jalasthana gatam cha shushyati. Jalasthana, any water body, any water reservoir. Jalam in that, shushyati, it gets dried up. But, all these things, they may wither out. They may diminish, they may perish. What doesn't perish at all? What doesn't get destroyed at all? Hutam cha, dattam cha. All these upabhogyani vastuni kshayashilani, kshayantani. Kintu hutam, agnau yad hutam, vaidika mantrais sahitam yad hutam, tathaiva supatrebhyaha yat pradattam, tat tathaiva tishtati. Stha tishtati, it remains there as sthai, eternal. Okay, permanently, sthai bhava. Therefore, we translate as permanent mood. Okay, so hutam cha dattam cha tathaiva tishtati, a very beautiful verse underlying the glory of charity and at the same time underlying the glory of the yajna vidhis. I have been telling in every was a great uplifter and a great upholder of the Sanatana Dharma. Throughout his dramas, you can find references to that. Varnashrama Dharma, be it Varnashrama Dharma, be it Yajnayaga, be it the Keshava or Narayana Stuti. So throughout Bhasa's plays, we come across this. And perhaps, as I stated earlier, perhaps in the second talk, that this might have been one of the reasons to burn all his kritis. And therefore, all his kritis got burnt. And it was only the Chakyars in Kerala, in this very land, through Kutiyattam, they preserved all these. Karnabharam was preserved as kavacaṃ or kavacaharanāṃ. Okay, so like that. So hutam cha dattam cha tathaiva tishtati, a beautiful verse. Tasmat grihatam. And now nikritya dadāti. He cuts out with his sword, he cuts his armor and then gives it away. Grihitva atmagatam, hanta grihite ete. At last, alas, eureka, I got it. Hanta. Hanta iti ascharye atra. Hanta grihite ete. So he was not very sure whether Karna will part with his kavacha kundalas. But now he is very happy. Whatever task I wanted to accomplish, at last I could accomplish it. Grihite. Purvameva aham Arjuna Vijayartham sarvadevaihi yat samarthitam tad idanim maya anushchitam. Purvameva. It was decided purvam eva, by sarvadevaihi, for what? Arjuna vijayartham, for the victory of Arjuna, tad maya idanim anushtitam, that I could accomplish today. So this was a divine plan. All the gods had requested Indra to go to Karna and ask for his kavacha kundala. At last, today that day has come when I could accomplish this. Tasmad ahamapi airavatam aruiha arjuna karnayoho dvandva yuddham pashyami. This dvandva yuddha is not wrestling as Bhima Duryodhanayoho gada yuddham. This is archery. Okay, dhanur yuddha, but only between the two, therefore it is dvandva. Otherwise, dvandva, when you speak of, a person gets, inclined to construe this as a wrestling, fight to fight, mushti to mushti, mushti prahara. Dvandva is two. So, a battle between the two. This is dhanur yuddha. He takes it and goes away. This all he speaks in Sanskrit because I have told you, Shakra always speaks in Sanskrit when it is Atmagata. Prakasham, he speaks Prakrit. Okay? And Airavatam Aruiha Aham Gacchami. Bho Angaraja, Vanchitah Khalu Bhavan. Shalya says, Shalya and Karna both realize that this is not an ordinary yachaka at all. Okay? And Shalya, for the first time, he knows, identifies who the yachaka is. He says, Vanchitah Khalu Bhavan, you have been deceived. Kena, Shakrena, you have been deceived by Shakra. Shaknotehe Shakraḥ, one who is able to achieve his task. Very significant use of the word here by Bhasa. Here he is not using the word Indrena or another word. Okay? Surendrena, Devendrena, Shakrena, because idam adya idanim maya anushtitam yad devaihi purvameva abhyarthitam. Adya shaknotehe shakraḥ. Shakrena. Nakhalu. Shakra khalu maya vanchitaha. I am not deceived by Shakra. Shakra is deceived by me. I cheated him. He didn't cheat me. Kutaha. And there is again a beautiful verse underlining even now the glory of this charity and his own confidence. Karna is not at all unhappy, or he is not pained in his heart that, oh, I had to part with my kavacha kundala. What do I do now? This, that. He feels it on the other way. A person like Shakra, a Devendra, Sakshat, the God of the Lord, the King of the gods, he came at my doorstep to ask something from me. So who is the loser and who is the winner? I am the winner. He has lost. Being the Devendra, he came as a yachaka at my door. We saw that yachana hi purushasya mahatvam nashayati akhilam. And that is why the Bhagavan Vishnu had to take the Vamana Batu form when he had to go to Bali. So this came as a yachaka. Shakra came as a yachaka. And how is this Shakra? See, the verse glorifies Shakra's abilities, his capacities, his potential, and such mighty Shakra approaching me as a yachaka. Who is the winner? I haven't lost anything. This was bound to go one day or the other. But my name will be carved in the history in golden letters which nobody can erase. Nakhalu shakraḥ khalu maya vanchitaha kutaha aneka yajña hutitarpito dvijaihi kiritavan danava sanghamardanaha suradvipasphalana karkashangulihi maya kritarthah khalu pakashasanaha. As I said, again you can refer to the Amarasarani, the 30 names of Indra. It was done by me on the request of my friend Tarangini Khoth Panshikar. So this is available on YouTube. So Pakashasanaha, Paka is the name of enemy. He happens to be the brother of Vritrasura, and one who vanquished Paka, that is Vritra's brother, the Asura, he is Pakashasana. Maya kritarthaha khalu Pakashasanaha. I have obliged Pakashasana today. I have not been cheated. I have obliged him. And how is he? Sura Dvipa Asphalana Karkashaha Angulyaha Yasya Saha. Sura Dvipa. Dvipaha nama Gajaha, Varanaha, Hasti. Dvabhyam pibati asau iti dvipaha. Dvabhyam pibati asau iti dvipaha. Like Padapa, we saw the word. See, this is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Somebody was asking me, can we learn Sanskrit through Sahitya? Why not? This is the best way to learn Sanskrit, because you come to know the glory, the vaibhava of Sanskrit language, how this is a very sughatita bhashayam, prakriti pratyayatmika. Like pa is a remnant of the root piba, to drink, and you attach that to some other word to have a meaningful word. Like padapa, padaihi pibati, mulaihi pibati iti padapaha nama vrikshaha. Madhupaha, madhu pibati asau madhupaha nama bhramaraha. Madhupaha, dvirefaha, bhramaraha. Similarly here, dvipaha, dvabhyam pibati asau iti dvipaha, the elephant can drink water with its shunda, the trunk, as well as through the mouth. He has a mouth also, right? Shunda is like a nose. So shundaya api pibati, mukhena api pibati, dvabhyam pibati iti dvipaha. So Suradvipa is Airavata. Suradvipa, the divine elephant of Indra, that is Airavata. Suradvipa Asphalana, Asphalana caressing, doing massage on the body. Normally खरारा करणे मराठी मध्ये म्हणतात, घोड्याचा खरारा करतात, हत्तीच्या पाठीवरनं हात फिरवतात. Like when it is your own vehicle, you have to caress it with love and caring. So by caressing, by scratching, by massaging the harsh, hairy back of Airavata, the fingers of Shakra, Indra, have become hard, Parusha. Suradvipa Asphalana Karkasha Angulihi Pakashasanaha Adya Maya Kritartha Kritaha. Okay, so that is one epithet, a big samasa, but you dissolve the words step by step, the meaning is crystal clear. You must know the knack of dissolving the compounds, right? So Suradvipasphalana Karkashangulihi Pakashasanaha Danava Sangha Mardanaha. He is again Mardana, vanquisher of Danava Sangha, of the groups of hostile enemies of the Asuras, Danava. Danuj's sons, and therefore Danavas. Ditij's sons are Daityas, right? Kiritavan, he has the Kirita because he is the Raja. Everybody else cannot be Kiritavan. All gods can't be Kiritavan. Kirita symbolizes their power. He is the God, he is the Lord of the gods, and therefore he is Kiritavan. And Aneka Yajna Huti Tarpito Dvijaihi. And by the Brahmanas, he is being offered Indraya Idam Namama Indraya Swaha. Okay, so Aneka Yajna Ahuti Tarpitaha. In so many sacrifices, Tarpitaha, he is being made trupta, satisfied by Ahutidana, by whom? Dvijas, by the Brahmanas. So he is that Indra to whom many Brahmanas give offerings in the Yajnas, who holds the Kirita, being the Lord, the King of the gods, who is the vanquisher of the hostile enemies, the demons, and whose fingers have become, little bit harsher by continuously massaging the Airavata, his own vehicle. So such Indra, Pakashasanaha, Maya Kritartha Kritaha. kritaha arthaha yena yasya iti va. So the Karnabharam, the Karna kavacaṃ or kavachadana episode gets over here. Then pravishya brahmana rupena, one person comes again in the, he's a devaduta, a messenger from Indra, and he comes there and says, Bho Karna, kavacha kundala grahanat, janita paścāttapena, purandarena, anugrihitosi. Different words used for Shakra. Shakra, Indra, Pakashasana. Here Purandara. Shatrunam, Puranam, Dharayita. Sayana says in Rigveda Suktas, Purandaraha. Purani Dharayati iti Purandaraha. Shatru Puranam Dharayita iti Purandaraha. So Purandarena Anugrihitaha. See, you are blessed by Purandara. Why so? Paścāttapena. Purandara is feeling very sad that he got Kavacha Kundala from you and he is full of remorse, filled with remorse. Paścāttapena. Why Paścāttapa? The reason is given. Kavacha Kundala Grahanat Janita Paścāttapena. Not Jata, Janita, causal. The Kavacha Kundalas given by Karna, they have caused the paścāttapa, and therefore paścāttap झाला नाहीये, करवला गेलाय त्याच्या दानामुळे. So Karna is the cause, right? Karna's charity is the cause, and therefore see these are the nuances of grammar. Not jata paścāttapaha, janita paścāttapaha. So janita paścāttapena purandarena anugrihitosi pandaveshu eka purusha vadhartham amogham vimalānaṃ shaktiriyam pratigrihatam. Please accept this Shakti. Shakti is an astra, is a missile, okay? Shakti, astra, called Vimala. And what this Vimala can achieve, Vimala can do, Pandaveshu eka purusha vadha. Amongst the Pandavas, one Pandava could be killed by this Shakti. Now that one Pandava has to be Arjuna, because Karna has already promised his mother Kunti that he will not kill any other but Arjuna. And there will be 4 Pandavas. She will have 5 sons, right? So that is what he has promised. And therefore, eka Pandava vadhartham amogham, which it is infallible, which cannot go in vain. जे कधीही व्यर्थ जाणार नाही असं अस्त्र. म्हणजे त्या शक्तीचा उपयोग केला तर निश्चितपणे मृत्यू येणार. ओके, इट इज अ फेटल infallible astra, missile called Vimala. Karna says, Dik dattasya na pratigranhami. See the magnanimity. I have given something. It's not in the expectation of getting something in return. I don't expect a return gift from the yachaka. Except for the Ashirvada, I don't expect anything else. And Ashirvada I have already got Surya iva, Chandra iva, Himavan iva, Sagara iva, Tishthatu te yashaha. That is the Ashirvada which I already got. So, Dattasya na pratigranhami. I don't accept any return gifts. Okay? Nanu Brahmana vachanad grihatam. Brahmana is saying, I am a Brahmana. He came to you as a Brahmana. Brahmana vachanad grihatam. Brahmana vachanamiti na mayā atikranta purvam. I have never transgressed or disregarded a Brahmana vachana. If Brahmana says something, I have to follow. Again, see the Varnashrama Dharma, typical, imagine the period when Bhasa must have flourished, some 3-4 centuries before the Common Era, when the society, Indian society, had Varnashrama Dharma to the fullest in practice. Sanatana Dharma was in vogue, right? So, Brahmana vachanamiti namaya atikranta purvam. Kada labheya? When will I get that Shakti? Yada smarasi tada labhasva. You just remember and you will get the message. You just see, this is the sankalpa matrena siddhihi. Now we don't have this concept at all, sankalpa matrena, but pura, in ancient times, even Brahmadeva produced this srishti sankalpa matrena. You just wish, you will, and your wish gets actualized. Your will gets materialized. So that is the thing. You yada smarasi, when you remember, you will get it. Badham, anugrihitosmi. Okay, anugrihitosmi, pratinivartatam bhavan. Now you may go. Badham, nishkrantaha, shalyaraja, yavad, ratham arohavaha. Okay, let us go back to our task. What is our task? The D-Day, do or die? Badham, ratharohanam, natayataha. Aye, shabdaiva shruyate. This is a typical of Bhasa's place. When Sutradhara comes, he says, Kinnu khalu mai vidnyapana vyagre shabdaiva shruyate, and he would listen to something. He would make some character enter. Aye, shabdaiva shruyate. It's all happening behind the screen, in the Nepathya. Kinnu khalu idam. What is this? And the shabda is a shankhanada. The gambhīraghoṣa is the shankhaghosha. Shankhadhvanihi pralaya sagara ghoshatulyaha. Shankhadhvani is like pralaya sagara ghosha. Samudrachi gaz. Kontya vechi pralaya kalcha. See, the sea is, swollen with mountain high tides, waves, like that. So many tall waves are coming, and then the sound, the water, the waves, the tide would create. That is pralaya kala, pralaya sagara ghoshatulyaha, ayam shankhadhvanihi. So this is a very serene, very gambhīra type of sound which is listening to. Krishnasya va natu bhavet satu falgunasya. Which shankha it could be? It could be either Panchajanya, Krishna's shankha, or Arjuna's shankha, Falgunasya cha. Why Arjuna is called Falguna? He is born on Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. Falguna is also the name of Arjuna Vriksha. He is Arjuna. See, because of the Vriksha's name, he got Arjuna. The Vriksha is white in bark, Arjuni is white in color, and therefore he is known as Arjuna. And he is born on the Falguni Nakshatra, therefore he is called Falguna. So this could be the Shankhadhvani of either Krishna or of Arjuna. And then he says, mostly it should be Arjuna only. Mostly it could be Arjuna. Why? Nunam, indeed. Nunam, Yudhishthira parajaya kopitatma parthah karishyati yathabalamadya yuddham. The background of this Karnabharam is on the 9th day of the Mahabharata war. Karna caught hold of Yudhishthira, but he had already given a promise to his mother Kunti, and therefore he did not kill him and he just let him go. So Yudhishthira got defeated. Man khali ghalun ala to. So Yudhishthira parajaya kopitaha atma yasya. Yudhishthirasya jeshtha bhratuhu parabhavena kopitaha yasya atma tadrishaha parthaha adya yatha shakti yuddham karishyati. He will try his best to fight against me today because he is already infuriated, kopita, enraged, angered by the parabhava of his elder brother Yudhishthira. And therefore, nunam Yudhishthira parajaya kopitatma parthak karishyati yathabalamadya yuddham. So he will yatha shakti yuddham karishyati. Let me get ready to fight against him. So this is like Upama Alankara and Vasanta Tilaka Vritta. So again, the third time he says, Shalya Raja, Yatra Sau Arjunaha, Tatraiva Chodyatam me rathaha. Please drive to that place where this Asau Arjuna. Last time we saw, who is this Arjuna? Asau. This one simple, apparently simple pronoun has loads of meaning, profundity of meaning hidden in it. Badham. And again, I'll repeat, this is the third time this dialogue comes. Yatraso Arjunaha tatraiva chodyatam me rathaha. And I would like to remind the listeners here what I told in the second or the third lecture, perhaps during the introduction of Karnabharam, that according to one scholar, David, he mentions it as a Mahavratyastoma, where Kshatriya is the Yajamana, and he enacts ascending the heaven by walking 3 padas. And this sentence comes third time. So this is the Tripadi symbolically, and Karna is the Mahavratya, he is the Yajamana of this Vratyastoma sacrifice. Badham says Shalya, and then comes the end. It is called Bharatavakyam. In some manuscripts, it is called Prashastihi. Sarvatra sampadas santu nashyantu vipadas sada raja raja gunopetaha bhumimekam prashastunaha. Sarvatra sampadas santu. This is like sarvetra sukhinas santu, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhaved. Sarvatra sampadaha santu, vipadaha nashyantu sada. And Raja, this line is important, and we said the internal evidences which prove that all the 13 dramas are by one author, and that is Bhasa, because the Prashasti Vakya, the Bharata Vakya always talks about one sovereign king ruling the entire earth. Raja, Raja Gunopetaha, Ekaha, Bhumim, Ekaha Raja, sovereign king, Samrat, Prashastunaha, let him rule this whole kingdom, the whole Rajya, the territory. Nishkrantau Karnabharam Avasitam. The manuscripts would, in the colophon, in the Pushpika, it ends as Karnabharam Avasitam or Kavacaṃ Avasitam, like that. So this is a one-act play which ends here. Now, technically speaking, this is not a tragedy, because there is no death of Karna shown. There is no, Karna is not dying here. Karna is just heading towards Arjuna, where Arjuna is. But the tragic element is underlying the entire drama. A very short drama of only 25 verses, including the Bharatavakya. Very short drama, but very tragic, because every moment the reader, the spectator empathizes with the catastrophe faced by Karna, his agony, and being, in spite of being such a generous donor, a magnanimous warrior, what sort of dejection and disappointment he faces because he is hammered by misfortunes one after the other. The Shapa's element, the Brahmana Shapa is not mentioned here, but that's there in the Mahabharata. Here we mention only Parashurama's Shapa and Kunti's meeting. Only 2 things are mentioned. But how he is pressurized. So Karnabharam, again, to talk about the title and the significance of it, it is not just as A.D. Pusalkar says that, he has promised to give the Kavacha Kundala, and before, he promises and actually he gives, there is a time lapse, and therefore the Kundale Bharabhute Tasya. Kundale Bharabhute, and that is Karnayoho Bharabhute Kundale Yastra Tastad Natakam Karnabharam. But I think we have to revisit the title and learn for ourselves, these lessons. Though it is not an apparent tragedy, as Greek tragedies are. The next drama which we are going to read is Urubhangam. In fact, I wanted to start at least beginning of Urubhangam at the introduction, but the time is almost getting over. So let me not start it today. So a true tragedy will come across the next time. That is Urubhangam next Sunday. And till then, goodbye. Have a nice time. And do come to SIF campus to enjoy the glory of this Adi Shankara Nilayam, the serene and sanctified sacred atmosphere here. Enjoy the monsoon showers and enjoy Kalidasa's words in the Kalidasa camp. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. See you next Sunday, 17th. Till then, goodbye.